G'day everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Australian Property Investment Podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Christie David, and as you may know, I run a mortgage broking business called Atelier Wealth. Each and every episode, I like to bring in someone who I call best in breed. Now, today, I'm going to be very biased because our best in breed guest is Nate Condie from our team at Atelier Wealth. G'day, Nate. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks, Aaron. Thanks for having me again.
Not at all, mate. Return guest. So you must have done something right the first time.
So you claim.
Yeah.
I don't believe so, but yeah.
Nah, the listeners have spoken, mate, and they want more Nate. So what we want to do is go back on your story, and I feel like this is something that we've had a chat about. I've been very privy to seeing your journey as well. There's some clients that have come on the journey with your journey too. But I think if we kind of peel back the layer, and I think this is where some listeners have asked, let's hear from the team as well. So the people have spoken. Before we do kick off, I want to just reiterate that this episode is general in nature and not intended to give advice. So if you do need advice, please do seek out a professional. So Nate, you've been with us for just a tad over 2 years. Yeah. I've seen your maturity kind of blossom and grow and develop, and you're probably going to blush as I say that.
Yeah.
But I think for you, I'd love to hear kind of where did you feel you were coming into mortgage broking, and where do you feel you are 20 years later?
Yeah, I know, coming in, no idea about anything in the industry.
Yeah.
Fresh out of uni, no real idea of what even a mortgage was. Like I knew you needed one to get a house, but the functionality of it, how you got one, no idea.
Nice. So what did you study at uni for those listeners?
Economics and Finance, Bachelor at University of Wollongong.
Nice one. And then you went on to do post.
Yeah, I did my Masters in Financial Management as well.
Yeah.
And did that during COVID.
Yeah.
Found it a bit hard trying to get a job. Did that, boosted my resume a bit, and you guys took me on.
No, man, I think when I saw you, I think we all project a bit of ourselves, right? We did our interview over Zoom.
Yeah.
And I think you mentioned you were very open and said, look, I've been open interviews and haven't had much luck. And I thought, mate, there's a bit of honesty. I said, tell me what's going on. Like, show me the resume and why do you feel you're missing out? And you were pretty open and honest. And you said, look, it is interviewing over Zoom is probably a bit hard. So as a graduate, how did that experience kind of unfold for you?
As in like
that is coming out of uni as a grad during COVID.
It wasn't what I expected, right? I expected to be doing face-to-faces, coming into the city, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Zooms are a different beast. Like, you don't get to know the company. The company doesn't really get to know you. You kind of just,
show up at a
distance. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, there was something in there where, so, mate, let's give this, let's give him a go. I think he's got some really good knowledge here and just needs that next door to open. And you kind of opened it and grabbed it with both arms, mate. So real credit to you. So you started out, your career started out as what we call a para broker. Yeah. So really just kind of shadowing us on every client scenario that was coming through. So the knowledge that you've learned, what was kind of some of the early wins for you coming into that para broking role, do you think?
Not so much wins, just repetition, right? Sitting on the calls with you, jumping in on the easier scenarios at the start, learning just what everything is. So P&I, interest only, all the different types of loans, right? How the different banks work. And then, repetition, working the way up to more complex scenarios, starting to do them on my own, even speaking with clients. So, it was just no particular wins, just a gradual rise. Yeah.
Any of those, I mean, you're probably working on, I don't know if you're far better at maths than I am, but you work a couple of scenarios a day over 2 years, you've probably worked yourself into hundreds.
Yeah, easy.
Hundreds of scenarios, and we've seen it all, right? And we often speak about it. And I think where you probably bring a fresh element is that inquisitiveness, like what you're saying is you had to learn basics. And then why are they doing that? And is that the best way for them? And you probably see everyone's different approach to, say, investing or buying, for example, in their own life journey as well.
Yeah, for sure.
What's some of the things that have surprised you going through this side?
I don't know. It's hard. Not many surprises, a lot of lessons.
Yeah.
I didn't think, at like this point today, I'm still learning every day, like something new. Sometimes, off the back of an error.
Absolutely.
Which is the way you do learn, right? But I'm still learning every day. And I always wonder, when is that point I'm going to know everything? And there probably will never be a point, right?
I mean, what am I, 10 years into mortgage broking, and constantly still surprised about what, even the processes, how things quickly can fall off the rails. It doesn't matter how many SOPs we have or how many process maps that we have or workflows, there are things that just still slip through the cracks or things fall over as well, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's an imperfect system. So take me through, you're now moved into mortgage broking. That decision to become a mortgage broker was always part of your growth plan. But again, how did you feel coming into that role, and is it what you expected it to be?
Yeah, look, I was ready, right? Shadowing you, I pretty much knew what the process of, end to end would be as a mortgage broker.
Yeah.
So I kind of there was no shocks to it, right?
Yeah.
Look, it's been great. I've loved it. How many months now? 8 or so?
Yeah.
I think I've been accredited since Feb.
Yeah.
So 8 or so. Been great.
Yeah. I mean, to watch your rise, I know if from an industry perspective, you've definitely kicked some massive goals since I think you're probably actively writing from like April-ish onwards, right?
Yeah.
So to see from April to the end of 2023 what that's been, what excites you about your next phase of broking as well?
Just doing more numbers, right? Getting more referrals from clients, because that's always good, right? And when a client has something nice to say, I'll pass you on. So building that client referral network.
Yeah.
Just writing more numbers, helping people out.
Yeah, nice. Excellent. What's the part that really, I guess, gets you going with mortgage broking? We had a chat the other day in the office about what kind of Damien's really hell-bent on, first-time buyers and making sure that more people get into the market. You see me, and I love seeing investors grow their portfolio. So when you're looking at broking and what we do in terms of home ownership, what's the part that really ignites you?
So it's that what I just mentioned. So just being able to help people, right, achieve their goals. As our kind of motto is set up intergenerational wealth. So I feel like just helping people take that first step is great. And now I'm starting to do some of like my mates' loans as well. So one mate I'm refinancing, one we've just submitted today for their first purchase. So that's great to be able to help them, do the same.
Awesome, really good. From an identity shift, like what's your view on mortgage brokers?
I don't know. Like I remember you asked me this in the interview, and I was like, I just don't have an opinion on them. Like they don't cross my mind day to day.
Yeah, because I've seen it all. I've seen people go, mortgage broking is not a real job. I'm like, that's a bit rough. And then some people are like anti-brokers. Some people love them. Some people, I guess you're indifferent. But
I don't know. I don't really have an opinion still. It's just like I don't want to think bad of us because I'm one. Right?
Yeah, great.
I don't know.
Nice. And then I guess the future for you, and we've spoken about this as well, where do you see your future? Where do you see the mortgage broking industry going for you as well?
Oh, I don't think that far ahead. I just think as you mentioned, what's my next goals? Don't really have many goals, just keep writing more. Yeah. Right? So no big future plans. Hopefully, I just keep, going on that upward trajectory. Yeah.
I mean, we're big goal setters, so we've spoken about this a lot. Even I think Bernie mentioned the other day is around home ownership, and especially, you're young. You mind sharing your age if you're...
Yeah, 25.
You're 25, right?
Yeah.
So young guy, do you look at home ownership as attainable? Do you think it's achievable?
For sure, definitely, yeah. And it's like we preach it every day, right? So at one point I should practice what I preach.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
Why? And so, there's so many Aussies that feel disenfranchised or feel like the Great Australian Dream is dead or slipping away from them. Why do you say yes with such conviction, do you think? And this isn't a loaded question.
No, it's just like it's not like people will think, I live in Sydney, I can never buy in Sydney. Well, you can buy somewhere else, right? You don't need to buy in Sydney for your first property. You can buy an investment. You can buy in Sydney. It might not be, a 4-bedroom house on a 1,000-metre block, but you can buy, right? Yeah. It's achievable. The government's brought in so many regulations for first home buyers and schemes, you can do it.
Yeah.
Right?
You say that now because and some say, look, mate, because you're in the industry, right?
Yeah.
You know it. But how many first home buyers do you meet that you go, hey, look, they had no idea that was available to them?
And that, we're out on the weekend with my mates, and someone just mentioned, saving for a home loan's so hard. And I'm like, well, yes, but at the same time, there's so many schemes, and this is the first time I've actually caught someone out on it, right? And I think I'm getting to that point, right? So it's like, you only need a 5% deposit if you want to buy your first place. If saving for a 5% deposit is hard, well, that's their situation, right? But it's not as hard as most people would think.
Do we say that lightly? Because I mean, most people kind of, they're building up in their head going, I mean, when you hear, and I'll say this openly because, you know, I've got the book coming out and I've studied it all at the moment, which is to take you on average over 10 years plus to save for a 20% deposit, which again, you and I know we don't need a 20% deposit, but that's what the media is peddling. And then you go over 10 years to save for a deposit. By that stage, probably prices have increased as well and you're back kind of at square one.
Yeah.
So how do you, if you were to have mates that you do that without them going, hey mate, you work in this and that's kind of your gig, where you go, hang on, this is achievable for everyday working Australians, right?
Yeah.
How do you have that conversation with them?
Yeah, well, I haven't got to that point yet. But it's like, if you want to save, if you want to buy a house, you've got to put the plans in place to save, right? You can't just keep going out every weekend blowing your money. You know, you've got to actually have a plan and stick to it. Yeah, to get there.
Yeah, nice. So the Nate Condie story, like what's some of the things that's on your bucket list do you feel that you're looking to achieve in your lifetime, mate?
I don't know. Yeah, home ownership, definitely.
Yeah.
Probably in Sydney or in the Shire more specifically.
So you are a Shire boy, for example.
Yes, very proud.
Correct. Have you got a home bias to say buying and living in the Shire, for example, do you feel? Or do you think, like, hey, look, my first property, because I know we helped your brother as well.
Yes. First property probably will not be in the Shire. I think probably interstate investment. I don't know, it's probably not, that's it. At one point, definitely owning a home in the Shire. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, perfect. And are you fortunate in the sense that you've got parents that are very willing and able as well? So, I mean, the bank of mum and dad effectively is very reliable and dependable.
Yeah.
What do you say to people that don't have that as an option for them?
You know, you got to save.
Yeah.
Right. It's just the situation, right? I can't say, well, I have a guarantor, so, you know, tough luck.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It's a tough one. It's like, I can't just say, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but
I'm not trying to get you to solve the problem here.
Yes, okay.
Because it's not a government policy we're trying to solve here. It's more, I guess, well, I'm privy to hearing your conversations with clients, for example, but we can only have so many client calls during a week. So if someone's listening and go, hey, look, how have you done it for other people where they're like, median incomes, you know, sub 70K, for example. So median income, trying to buy a home or an investment property, I'm really struggling for the deposit. What are some of the tips that you can maybe offer someone at that point?
This is a test. I don't know, save, right? You've got to save. Move in back home if possible, with mum and dad, if possible, right?
Yeah.
If they have a home, which not everyone's parents do.
Have their own
home, yeah. So, it's save, right?
No shortcuts.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So I guess outside work, what are some of the things that fill your cup, mate?
So big movie guy.
Yes.
Big rugby league fan, big soccer fan. But most, like at the end, you know, my favourite thing is just hanging with the boys, going to the pub.
Yeah,
drinking beers, like that's what I look forward to at the end of the week. No, not in a bad way.
No, absolutely. We all need
winding down.
Social. I think it's great. Yeah. I'm a big fan of whatever it takes socially to get yourself energized and recharged as well. And if it means catching up with some lads and having a few lagers, there's nothing wrong with that. Everything in moderation.
Yes, of course,
including moderation.
Drink responsibly.
Perfect. So closing out 2023 and then looking to 2024, what's some of the things that's on the 2024 vision board for yourself?
Definitely get my numbers up. So doing more prospecting, building that referral network and even partnerships if possible. Just continue learning and growing as a broker, as a person. I think that's it.
Awesome. Yeah, I think the two, when you put them together, like broker and a person there's no separation between them, right? Even when you grow personally in your personal life, self-development, or done a fair amount of that work, you then level up automatically in your professional life as well. And have that accountability. Mate, I just want to say thank you very much. I know it's I know it's uncomfortable for you because
Yes.
you're normally I don't know, would you consider yourself an introvert? Or,
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah.
Yeah. Introvert, and you're normally, I'd say, a little bit more reserved in that sense.
For sure.
You don't want to kind of, you're not an oversharer, but that's what makes you and special. So I know this is definitely challenging, mate. But I want to say thanks for jumping on board. Thanks for sharing. And really the goal is for a lot of people, they want to get to know the team behind the laptop or behind the phone, for example. And it gives you an opportunity for people to connect with you and to learn more about your story, mate, and where you're going as well. So thank you very much for being on board. Appreciate it.
No worries. Thanks, Aaron.
Awesome. That's a wrap for another episode of the Australian Property Investment Podcast. I hope you've enjoyed something slightly different, left of center that we've done today. And as always, if you want to give some feedback, better yet, if you want to subscribe and leave us a review, that would be much appreciated as well. Until next time, take care.